out there. Take it away.
Find your glory, write your story, fearless feet will carry you. Time you own it, take your moment, be a fire burning through. Hustling from night until morning, grinding it out, it won't be long. Feel your power, it's your hour, you inspire, you are strong.
Enjoy your Zoa. No applause? You're all fired.
Hey, good morning, America. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Money! Are you ready? They are ready. Covering the biggest events in the country right now.
There's a lot going on here this morning.
It's always a good time. That's what the show's about.
That's good.
Really good. Very good.
Coming in hot. Jimmy coming in hot.
It's far from elementary.
Oh, good morning, America.
I'm not going to try to strut like Michael or anything.
I have known George a long, long time.
Have you ever gotten him to dance?
Look at that face.
You don't just see it, you feel it.
I'm in.
I'm in. I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'll be there.
I am here and so happy.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
I'm in.
That tells you something when Snoop Dogg's in. Michael, George, where? Ginger.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Lights go low, the city goes high. Stories untold under moonlit skies. Pray lonely, got the vibe, got the flow for the culture. Yeah, you already know. Turn it up, lean back, feel the breeze. Late night truths drifting through the trees. It's for the culture, by the culture. Pray lonely's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Headlines flip with a soulful twist. Behind the scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune in, lean in, feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Pray lonely's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire.
Well, hello to you, and you. Welcome into another edition of Bradley's Virtual Tour Live. By the way, shout out to the 14 people that came through. I saw y'all. There was 9 people, then 8 people, then 7 people, then 6 people. Glad to have all of you here. Good morning, Linnell Stiller. Good to see you this morning. Aiden Romero, welcome in. Glad to have you here. I believe it's your first time here. Y'all, we got a lot to talk about. Last night, I think Hollywood imploded mentally because Paramount won. And y'all, I remember when we went live and it was the Netflix Bros breakdown, and Cece was here with me and with all of us, and I broke down some things that really made sense synergy-wise for Netflix and Warner Bros. Discovery team up. And child, there is nothing of synergy for Paramount and Warner Brothers Discovery. I promise you. So we're gonna get into all of that this morning. So we have that destination. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 destinations for y'all this morning. So Warner Brothers Discovery gonna start that at the top of the show. Megan the Stallion. Okay, we're gonna call her Megan Pete Thompson because they are the Thompsons, Clay and Megan. She is tackling Broadway with being a part of Moulin Rouge, the musical. I promise you the tickets are probably already sold out. Chris Harrison, we talked about, him coming back to the world of reality TV with the Dang Show, and I did say that could be on Fox Nation. Well, me and Van Lathan called it. We'll talk about him this morning as well. Podcasts. There's an interesting report from TechCrunch about podcasts and how they're listened to. So we'll talk about that. Rihanna, Riri Navy, stand at attention because there may or may not be new music. We'll get into that. Jonathan Majors, speaking of comebacks, Jonathan Majors is making a comeback, but wait till you hear how. My Lord Jesus, oh God. Then Young Miami wants to go from Diddy to these standards and requirements. We'll talk about her. And then Aleta Crystal has a new service that I think are going to make a lot of women happy. There's going to be some men that may feel a way about this, but if you are a man that does what you're supposed to do and you don't want to get yourself hurt, we'll talk about that service, okay? So I'm teasing, taunting, and prodding about it, but we'll talk about all those destinations this morning. With that being said, higher is waiting, low is available, but either way, we gotta go on tour. Yes, indeed, we do. Let me take down this iconic intro here. You see that virtual tour background? Yes, you do hear that virtual tour music as well. Yes, you do, because one thing to know, 2 things for sure, that over here on this channel, a lot happens early. Rolling.
It's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early.
I'm Harry Smith.
I'm Julie Chen. I'm Maggie Rodriguez.
Morning everywhere. Come on, get up.
I'm Russ Mitchell.
And I'm Dave Price.
And it's a little early for this.
Right now, this it's a new morning for America's family. Sun's coming up, so make it all that it can be. You know a lot happens early. Every day's good when you started it out right. But whatever you want, the daylight. And a lot happens early. Can you feel it when I say?
Good morning, everybody.
Are you girls ready for the Jonas Brothers?
We have an early show exclusive. Yes.
A lot happens early.
A lot happens early.
The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.
It's a new morning.
Julie Chen Moonves, yes, it is a new morning, but oh Lord, this is one type of morning for damn sure. And to Russ Mitchell, Dave Price, Harry Smith, and Maggie Rodriguez, you're absolutely right on this channel right here. A lot happens early. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully all is well with each and every single one of you. Good morning to you all. Paramount won Warner Brothers Discovery. I got a lot to talk to. First of all, I think it's utterly stupid. And I'm going to show you why with my words. But first, we're going to talk about let's do that first. I'm going to show you some of the Netflix Bros breakdown, right? And then we're going to get to the news about Warner Bros. Discovery and what they did with Paramount. Because Paramount does not have a fifth, quarter, or a half of what I'm about to show you. So give me a moment. Okay, y'all. So give me a moment here. So as y'all can see, I told y'all about the separation of the television networks, right? That there are the studios and the streamers for Warner Bros. Discovery, and then there's the linear cable channels, which is Discovery Global, right? And I did say that I believe that with this potential deal with Netflix and Warner Bros. Discovery, it would have given the opportunity for content creators to get in the door because Warner Bros. Has a lot of intellectual property. But I also said how content creators can really revive cable television with original content. And in addition to that, I know a lot of people were thinking, okay, are you going to combine, HBO Max and Discovery, Plus into Netflix? And I said, no, that would be a dumbass decision. Why? Because you have fan bases from Discovery Plus, which is the only nonfiction, streaming service of reality TV and docuseries and everything else. So you keep that audience. And then for HBO Max, that's connected to HBO. So you don't want to, break the balance of that. So Netflix would have had 3 streamers in their arsenal. Right. And in addition to that, because of what Warner Bros. Discovery decided to do, they have to pay an $8.5 billion breakup fee, which is a lot of money. So Netflix is getting a check out of this. But it's sad because I think that, Paramount, which is now MAGA owned by the president. I'm going to say that. I don't give a flying fuck who has something to say about it. It's sad that Paramount could not just lay their rollover and take it and work with what they have. Because here's the thing. When you buy assets of any company, you have to invest in that in order to get a return on your investment. And Paramount already said that with their cable channels, they're not going to be investing any money into their channels. They're going to be working off of the digital platforms, right, and the digital fan bases. And it's just like, how do you expect a business to ever make a comeback if you don't invest in the comeback? That makes no sense to me. Give me a moment. Then I also talked about how the CW is in a really weird spot right now. And imagine if Netflix, Toon Studios, right, and Warner Brothers Studios, right, the movie division and the TV division, produce shows for the CW, right? And also, too, if those shows don't work on the CW, then you have CW Plus, which is their free advertising stream. What is it? What do I always say? Free advertising streaming television platform, right? So that's like Pluto TV. That's like Roku, the Roku channel. That's like Exumo from Troy Communications and NBC Universal. Netflix has not gotten to free television yet. And I think that the CW Plus would have been great because guess what? Still, Warner Brothers still owns 12.5% of that. And so does, Paramount Global, right? So that would have been really cool to have a free advertising streaming television platform called CW Plus. And then I talked about how they could have created HBO Creatortainment Network, which is a HBO-backed linear streaming network called the HBO Creatortainment Network, a proposed network dedicated to content creators, talent, emerging filmmakers, aiming to bridge the gap between creator culture and prestigious entertainment. All of that was possible with Netflix. Now, we talk about theme parks over here all the time, right? So I want to show you this as well. So right here, as you can see, Netflix owned the rights to Harry Potter, which, if you don't know, that's at Universal Orlando Resort. That's at Universal Studios Hollywood, right? So imagine what they could have done with Harry Potter, right? Of course, as you guys know, there is a new Harry Potter television series coming, I believe, to HBO. So that would have been great. And then also, too, that would have been a great theme park partnership between Netflix and Universal, right? And then, of course, you know, the Warner Brothers Studio Tour. Netflix doesn't really have their own studios, right? So the fact that Netflix was going to have the Warner Brothers backlot would have helped with overhead. Right now, they are building a backlot in New Jersey, right? New Jersey. Shout out to the New Jerseyans on the show. But yeah, they're building that. So now you could have had you could have added, parts of Netflix to the Warner Brothers Studio Tour, or the Netflix Studio Tour in New Jersey, right? And wherever else Netflix wants to build. Also, too, I talked about the Netflix House, which is pretty much this physical entertainment experience with curated ways to engage with the different brands of Netflix. They have one in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, and Texas. So with Netflix and Warner Bros. Discovery partnering up, there could have been a lot of different synergies from Warner Brothers properties into the Netflix houses, because they're going to build more Netflix houses. And then, of course, DC and Looney Tunes rights. Now, because, Netflix owned Looney Tunes, that could have opened up the door, right, for, Netflix to get the Looney Tunes and the DC rights to be able to talk to other, theme park operators, right? So. And then right here, with also, Netflix owning the Wizard of Oz, which is a huge property. There needs to be a way to figure out how, there could be a way to bring Wicked to the parks, right? So you have that as well, because, Universal has Wicked, but, but with Warner Brothers, they also have the Wizard of Oz platform as well. And then, of course, now you have BARBIE, Barbie. Mattel is having their own amusement parks called adventure parks, right? So there was potential there. And then Lord of the Rings, which was owned by Netflix, might become a Universal Studio. So there was a lot of meat with the Netflix Warner Brothers deal that I believe that, yes, this is the deal to go on. And I saw all the pictures, of David Zasloff and Ted Sarantos and Greg Peters, walking the back lot of Warner Brothers. And also Netflix went in person to talk to the Warner Brothers employees. So I will give them that, because let me tell you something, Paramount did not make any attempt to talk to the employees, to be on the ground, to be transparent. They were like, we just want this deal. They sounded like a Mitch that got rejected by a woman who saw the bullshit that they were flying, right? So with that being said, let's get to it, my boy. So from Deadline.com, that's all looks away from Warner Bros. Refusing to raise their offer. Netflix has thrown in the towel, won't be raising its offer from Warner Bros. To match a rival bid by Paramount. Game-changing news that caps several days of action around the bidding war. The move comes 2 hours after Warner Bros. Discovery said it determined that its latest offer received from Paramount was superior to the $82.7 billion deal signed with Netflix on December 5th. Remember that video I did about how you can't have two black networks, right? Remember when we talked about that? Let me bring up that thumbnail real quick. Give me a moment. take Linnell Stiller's comment down for a minute. Right here, I said Disney has no black network. NBC Universal has no black network, but black people watch Bravo. Warner Bros. Discovery has the Oprah Winfrey Network. Fox has Fox Soul. Next Star Media Group Incorporated has no black network, and Paramount has BET, Black Entertainment Television. Now, why do I bring this up? If you all remember when the Paramount Skydance deal went through, they had to drop their DEI initiatives, and they had to hire an ombudsman at CBS News. So, CBS News is now state-run government news, right? And you could basically say CBS is the MAGA network, essentially. Now, of course, Gayle King is still on there. Beyond the Gates is still on there, which we are so thankful for. And prayers, love, and support to that show. Absolutely. But it creates the circumstances of, okay, well, since Paramount Skydance now has Warner Bros. Discovery, what makes you think that they won't ask Warner Bros. Discovery to cut their DEI initiatives? And you can't have two black networks, so either I'm laughing about this because I told y'all this fucking shit so many months back that this could potentially happen, okay? So many people are worried about one damn show that nobody gives a fuck about, a shit about, or damn about, but yet y'all ain't recognizing the bigger picture. But that's why I do the work that I do. Either OWN is going to combine into BET. That's one. OWN will combine into BET. They will sell off OWN. Or they could sell off both, right? They could sell off OWN and BET. Or they could get rid of both networks if they really want to. 4 options, right? Now, I don't want that to happen. I want the Oprah Winfrey Network to stay around. I want BET to stay around. But y'all, like, oh my God, there were so many more pockets of opportunity for Warner Bros. Discovery to be able to make something happen with Netflix. And, this has given me the energy of how Blockbuster rejected themselves to Netflix. But then again, we just did a report about how DVDs are making a comeback. Excuse me, and the person who has the Blockbuster trademark wants to do, restaurants and bars and everything else. I'm like, no, bring back Blockbuster as a entertainment news website. And then you make Blockbuster lounges where people can come and get drinks and food and everything in between, and bring back that 90s feel. I mean, can you imagine if BlockbusterEntertainmentNews.com was a entertainment news website, how many content creators would apply to work for Blockbuster Entertainment News? My Lord. But even though Blockbuster went away, it still was able to have a say-so in itself. And I will always respect Blockbuster for that. I think that, how can I put it? Just because the devil shows something nicely wrapped doesn't mean what's underneath is good for you. Let me say that on the big screen. Just because the devil showcases you a nice gift doesn't mean what's inside is not good. Just because the devil showcases you a gift doesn't mean what's inside is not good. And I think Warner Bros. Discovery will be regretting this decision for a very long time. And honestly, if I'm Netflix, if they come back and it's like, no, this deal's not working out, and I can't believe I'm saying this, and this is not aimed at the staff and the crew and the hardworking people at Warner Bros. Discovery, because I don't want nobody to lose their job. From a family of 5 to a family of 1, I don't want nobody losing a bag of bags. But Netflix needs to let Warner Bros. Discovery drown. They do. Because you already announced the deal, right? I read the PowerPoint live that morning when Netflix announced it, right? And not to mention, with all those tangible things that I read at the top of the show from my own live, rather, that would have been a smooth shot. And Warner Bros. Would have been continuing to make greatness. Now, what you have to worry about, and I saw an article this morning from Deadline.com, I think it was the president of CNN said, don't just assume bad things about our new arms and assume bad things for the future. Dr. Phil is a quack, but he did say a couple of things that made sense. Past behavior predicts future behavior. So where Netflix has the room to do whatever they want to do because they're not owned by anybody, and you have more room to, more room for creativity, you got to worry about Paramount now, not only breaking up Warner Bros. Discovery, but also, too, if they were this much of a bitch and a Mitch to get y'all, imagine what else they're going to be a bitch and a Mitch over to buy. That means y'all are not going to be a priority. And David Ellison and Larry Ellison is not going to do shit to Braylon Lee. They're not. They're not. And I bet you the president had something to do with this. I bet you that. And the reason why I say that is because we all know wherever the president wants, he gets. I mean, have we forgotten about how the FCC commissioner bullied ABC to fire Jimmy Kimmel? Have we forgotten about that? And the president recently said, fire board member Susan Wright, so there will be consequences. So, come on, y'all. Come on now. Come on now. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. Netflix still have 4 business days to match Paramount's offer, but declined. Huawei co-CEOs Ted Sarantos and Greg Pierce regretfully took the company out of the run, saying we've always been disciplined and at the price required to match Paramount Skydance's latest offer. The deal is no longer financially attractive. Read a joint statement from the 2 executives below, which we will do that now. Well, in a minute. Netflix investors are relieved or regrets. The stock is up 10%. The drama began 6 months ago, and truth be told, Paramount was in their first, as CEO Dave Ellison set his sights on Warner Bros. Discovery almost immediately after closing the Skydance Paramount merger in August. He began making rapid fire offers, all rejected, pushing the Warner Bros. Discovery board to open things up with a formal auction process that resulted in 4 offers: Paramount, Netflix, Comcast, and 1 mystery bidder never specified. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. You can give me a moment. Now, I don't know if anybody remembers this live. I'm going to take the Del Sales comment down just for a minute. Still love you. I don't know if anybody remembers this live, but I said it's very interesting, right, how Neil Mahone said we don't know how to pick originals. Pedro Pena, who is the YouTube president of Europe, Middle East, and Africa, said there's not appetite for originals, but yet Pedro Pena said that long form is trending more, and YouTube is trying to restructure the user interface on televisions to look like Netflix. They broadcasted a free NFL game on YouTube. They have the Oscars coming to YouTube in 2029, and you mean to tell me that you guys are not interested in the world of entertainment? Really, Google has a TV movies initiative called 100 Zeros, where they want to sell programs to Netflix, Hulu, HBO Max, and they don't want anything to do with YouTube. But I'm going to zoom in and read the thumbnail for y'all. Here we go. So it says here, Google has 100 Zeros, their movie and TV division. YouTube used to do YouTube originals or YouTube Red. Pedro Pena said there's no appetite for originals. Neil Mahone said we don't know how to pick originals. And long-form content is becoming more dominant, and YouTube is primarily watched on TV now more than ever before. And to add, so could Google be a surprise player in the Warner Bros. Discovery? And Google has YouTube TV. In addition, bonus, let me see, I think it's 18.7 million. 19, okay. 19.7 million watched the NFL game on YouTube. I believe that Google could have been that mystery buyer, without question. Let me summarize the video so you guys can see my points that I made in this live. So as you can see right here, I talked about how YouTube acquired NFL Sunday Ticket and the high viewership from the Brazil game, demonstrating its capacity to host live events, and also talking about the Academy Awards and potentially the Emmys, because the Emmys contract, for going from network to network is rounding up, I believe, this year. So the Emmys could also come to YouTube. And I said, if Google owned Warner Bros. Discovery, all of Warner Bros. Discovery networks, Cartoon Network, CNN, Food Network, HBO, TLC, TNT, and the Oprah Winfrey Network would be under Google's ownership, eliminating copyright issues for creators for their content, enhancing YouTube TV offerings by removing the licensing agreement hurdles. Because when you own the content, when you own the platform, it's easier to do. Like, I really believe that Google could have made a bid. I really, really believe that, without a shadow of a doubt. Now, Google is not going to come out here and say, yes, we put a bid for Warner Bros. Discovery. Of course not. But I see the game plan that could have been. Okay? And I just saw an article this morning from TechCrunch as well that not Google Chat, but Snapchat is about to do their own award show. So TikTok has their own award show. Snapchat's about to have their own award show. Why not the YouTube Entertainment Awards? And there was a meeting I was in. Some guy said, well, I don't think YouTube will ever do an entertainment award show. I wonder how that dude is feeling now, seeing how the industry is moving now. Just because it's crazy to you and you don't have the capacity, capability, comprehension of brain cells to form a brain to understand the industry, don't mean that moves ain't happening. Okay, let's get back to the argument. Warner Brothers clinched a deal to sell Warner Brothers streaming and studio assets to Netflix, a major departure for the streamer that tends to grow organically. Paramount launched a hostile tender offer, threatened a proxy fight, and things got noisy. It swooned its offer several times, but continually was rebuffed by Warner Bros. Discovery until this week. A 7-day negotiating window ended with a new offer that Warner felt was superior to the Netflix deal. Paramount raised its offer price to $31 a share in cash from $30, but also addressed other concerns raised by Warner Bros. Discovery, including financing guarantees. The two sides are now working on text that final agreement, which would need approval by Warner Bros. Discovery shareholders and a green light from regulators in the U.S. and other territories. Now, I will say this is not a fine deal because they have to go through regulatory approval. With Netflix was founded in the United States. Because when you're dealing with regulatory approval, you're dealing with other entities and branches and, other perspectives that may not agree with this because of licensing. If you don't know about licensing, that's basically the permission to air the content. That gets into the billions of dollars when it comes to sports, right? And so you have, with Warner Bros. Discovery, they have European sports, right? They were just over for the Winter Olympics, right? So you have all these different entities, but with Netflix, they don't have all that. They broadcast and stream to outer platforms, but also too, Netflix is in every country, but it originated in the United States, so they have more equity and more of a say-so. Sure, but Paramount's the smart ones. Said no one ever. Hollywood players, Wall Streeters, public interest groups, guilds, and lawmakers will know definitely where to direct their fire. Netflix issued this statement from its co-CEOs, Sarantos and Peters, Ted Sarantos and Greg Peters. Here we go. The transaction we negotiate would have created shareholder value with a clear path to regulatory approval. However, we've always been disciplined at the price required to match Paramount Skydance's latest offer. The deal is no longer financially attractive, so we are declining to match Paramount Skydance's bid. Warner Brothers is a world-class organization. We want to thank Dave Lassoff, go to Warner Fells, Bruce Campbell, Brad Singer, and the Warner Bros. Discovery Board for running a fair and rigorous process. We believe we will have been the strong stewards of Warner Brothers iconic brands, and that our deal will strengthen the entertainment industry and preserve and create more production jobs in the U.S. But this transaction was always a nice to have at the right price, not a must have at any price. I want to give Netflix credit for that. Give me a moment, because they really deserve some applause at Netflix. They really do. 2 more times. And the reason why I'm applauding them is because they are absolutely right. Now, I was saying to a friend of mine, he was wanting to go back to school. I said, dude, you got to be the biggest celebrity that has never existed. When you are getting offers from colleges, right, you have to look at the financial aid package and see what works for you, but also what resources do they have that will help your financial aid package so you can get through college. And the quote that I want to focus on is, but this transaction was always a nice to have at the right price, but not a must have at any price. Recognizing that it's a great addition, but it's not a requirement. And I have a good feeling that Paramount is putting themselves into a silo where Paramount could blackball themselves. Let me say that again. Paramount is putting themselves into a silo where they could blackball themselves. Paramount is putting themselves into a silo where they could be blackballed. Because guess what? The rest of the industry is watching this from the outside. They are. And they're like, oh, well, Paramount was that much of a dog with a bone over this. I don't want that energy on my projects. I don't want that energy on my staff and crew. I don't want that on the decisions we make for our production company. So fuck no, I won't work with Paramount. Now, of course, everything's alleged in my opinion for entertainment purposes only, but y'all also know I don't miss when it comes to covering media. This is what the fuck I do. I'm the opposite of Stephen A. Smith. I actually go off with factual information, not just go off because ESPN wants to pay me $100 million to destroy my own culture, and because I cannot expand outside myself because I'm a one-trick pony. Okay, so listen, this was a dumbass decision by Warner Bros. Discovery. I'm just gonna say that right damn now. A dumb ass decision. A dumb ass decision. Okay, let's continue. Netflix business is healthy, strong, and growing organically, powered by our slate and best-in-class streaming service. This year, we will invest approximately $20 billion in quality films and series, and we'll be expanding our entertaining offering consistent with our capital allocation policy. We'll also resume our share repurchase program. We will continue to do what we've done for more than 20 years as a company: delight our members, profitably grow our business, and drive long-term shareholder value. So Ted went all that way for nothing. Netflix lost Warner Bros. Discovery while Sorrentos was pitching for deal at the White House. Warner Bros. Discovery board called Paramount off superior. Now Netflix has 4 days to match. As you can see, there's 120 comments. I'm not going to read all 120 comments. But as you can tell, people have a lot to say on this. Now, that's not all that's happening with this. Let's continue. .com, Paramount Skydance poised to acquire Warner Bros. Discovery after Netflix backs out of bidding war. Netflix says Warner Bros. Discovery deal was no longer financially attractive. Warner Bros. Now says the sale to Paramount will create tremendous value for shareholders. Paramount Skydance is poised to acquire Warner Bros. Discovery in its entirety after a whirlwind afternoon in which Netflix dropped out of the hunt despite having reached an agreement in December to acquire most of Warner Bros. Discovery. Netflix on Thursday afternoon formally declined to increase its offer for Warner Bros. Discovery after Warner Bros. Discovery declared Paramount Skydance's latest bid a superior proposal to the agreement it already had in hand with Netflix. The swift decision by Netflix to walk away will certainly come as a shock to the industry because the streamer had 4 business days or until Wednesday, March 4th at 11:59 p.m. to come up with a new proposal to salvage its Warner Bros. Discovery deal. Adding to this surprise is the fact that Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos was in Washington, D.C. earlier Thursday in an effort to lobby the voice administration officials of the deal, which Netflix had a merger agreement in place amid Paramount's new $31 per share offer. Of course, this is the same statement I just read, but I'll read it again because it's a part of this article. The transaction we negotiated would have created shareholder value with a clear path to regulatory approval. Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos and Greg Pierce said in a joint statement issued Thursday, less than 2 hours after Warner Bros. Discovery revealed its board's new decision. However, we've always been disciplined, and at the price required to match Paramount Skydance's latest offer, the deal is no longer financially attractive, so we are declining to match Paramount Skydance bid. And also, too, I do want to add this. I think not only the reason why Netflix pulled out was because of the bullshit that Warner Bros. Discovery did with this deal, but also, too, Netflix has been very consistent that they do not want to get to linear television. Now, if you go after this live, I did a live rethinking that framework of, okay, well, Netflix has flip-flopped so much. What if you created the Todoom Entertainment Network? And that will be the entertainment network where you can have all new original shows. Because like I said before, shows, movies, TV shows, live event specials, everything in between. Because I've often said that linear television showcases what viewers could be curious about. Streaming reflects what they actually embrace, right? And so I'm like, well, if you had the Todoom Entertainment Network, you could have all new content creators and influencers hosting, news shows, hosting, review shows, video games and everything else. Kind of like G4, but it's Todoom. And Todoom is their entertainment, news platform, right? So go watch that live after this one. I feel like that's the only way Netflix could get into linear TV. But they have been very consistent on they don't want to get into linear TV. So I feel like Netflix pulled out this not just because of what happened with Paramount, because No, we agreed to buy the studios and the streamers, and you really want money for it all? No, we're not doing that. So Netflix stood on business with this. And no, I'm not trying to kiss Netflix's ass to get a Netflix deal, y'all. I call it like I see it. Stripes and solids. That's all I do. I call stripes and solids like I see it. And this was a dumbass decision by Warner Bros. Discovery. Fight me. Like, come on. Let's keep going. However, we've always been disciplined and at the price required to match Paramount Skydance's latest offer. The deal is no longer financially attractive, so we are declining to match Paramount Skydance bid. Warner Bros. Is a world-class organization, and we want to thank David Zaslav, Gunnar Wonderfeld, Bruce Campbell, Brad Singer, and Warner Bros. Discovery for running a rigorous process. We believe we would have been strong stewards of Warner Bros. Iconic brands, and that our deal would have strengthened the entertainment industry and preserved and create more production jobs in the U.S. This transaction was always a nice to have at the right price and not a must have at any price. And like I said, to go back to that, if let's just say if Paramount reached out to me and said, "Bray, we want to bring this virtual tour to BET," would it be a nice to have? Yes. But is it a must have at any price? But it's to the detriment of this brand and what we built? Fuck no. So I like what Netflix said, that this was a nice to have at the right price, but not a must have at any price, right? So whenever you are a content creator looking for partnerships, collaborations, this, that, and the third, I think this is the mindset to have. Know your worth and then put tax on, right? If you want me, you have to want all of me, not just for a fifth quarter or a half of me. You cannot culturally appropriate me, but yet not culturally appreciate me and match what I'm asking for. You can't do that. So I like that method of, it was always a nice to have at the right price, but not must have at any price. I feel like everybody should be that, should have that mindset in business. The woman from Love Island, she interviewed 14 different talent agencies before she landed on the right one. So she said, listen, if I'm going to have the chance to do everything I want to do, it's going to be a nice to have at the right price, but it's not going to be a must have at any price. And, breaking down who I am in order to be in Hollywood. So let's continue. The statement continued, Netflix's business is healthy, strong, and growing organically, powered by our slate and best-in-class streaming service. This year, we will invest approximately $20 billion in quality films and series, and we'll expand our entertainment offering. Consistent with our capital allocation policy, we'll also resume our share repurchase program. We'll continue to do what we do for more than 20 years as both the company to let our members profitably grow our business and drive long-term shareholder value. The now dead Netflix deal, which included buying Warner Bros. And HBO Max, was valued at nearly $83 billion. Paramount's latest bid submitted February 24th was approximately $111 billion. A bid of $111 billion for the entirety of Warner Bros. Discovery, including their linear cable channels. I'm telling y'all, this is going to be bad. This is going to be bad because, like I said, NBC Universal has already spun off their cable channels and other platforms into a company called Versant. Warner Bros. Discovery has split the studios and the streamers from the linear cable networks. So now you're going to have the Warner Brothers Discovery Networks, which is Discovery Global, and Paramount Skydance Networks into a joint company. And then they will spin that off, and then it will just be the studios and the streamers. But here's the problem with that, right? If you're spinning off all these cable networks, then where's the content going to come from? Right? So at least with Warner Bros. Discovery, they would have taken the Netflix deal and then they were sold off the networks, around to different, companies that they could see how to revive something. Then guess what? Now you would have still had a stake in all those channels, and there would have been multiple streams of income consistently coming in. So Warner Bros. Discovery actually would have risen higher, but because now you took a dumbass deal from a bully and his dad, who both of them suck off the president's dick just to be able to have a business, now Warner Bros. Discovery is going to go shit. Just keeping it a buck. Just like I said, y'all saw the thumbnail. You know my voice, and damn it, you know why you're here, because I keep it real with media. They're not going to talk all. They're not going to break down media like this. Not like the statement I just said, but they're not going to break down the quiet part that's not being said out loud. That's what I'm here for. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Oh my God. In a statement, Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav tried to put a positive spin. If you gotta try to put a positive spin on it, you know this is shit. You know this is shit. You know this is shit. Oh my God. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. In a statement, $111 billion bid for the entity for the entirety of Warner Bros. Discovery, including their linear cable shows. Now, in a statement, Warner Bros. Discovery CEO David Zaslav tried to put a positive spin on the extraordinary turn of events, citing Netflix co-CEO Stacey Rentals, Greg Pierce, and Chief Financial Officer Spencer Newman. Netflix is a great company, and throughout this process, Ted, Greg, Spence, everyone there have been extraordinary partners to us. We wish them well in the future, Zaslav said. Once our board votes to adopt the Paramount merger agreement, it will create tremendous value for our shareholders. We are excited about the potential of a combined Paramount, Skydance, and Warner Bros. Discovery. Can't wait to work together to get started. We can't wait to get started working together to tell the stories that move the world. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Once our board votes to adopt the Paramount merger agreement, you do realize people can vote no still, right? You do realize that. And I think that's the variable David Zaslav is not recognizing. If everyone says no, then you're fucked, because that deal is dead. And if Netflix somehow, by the grace of God, gives y'all a second chance, they need to make that breakup fee a $20 billion breakup fee. No, you locked into this shit for life. Shit. Okay. Samuel A. D. Potts Jr., chairman of the Warner Bros. Discovery Board of Directors, added, "I'm extremely proud of this rigorous process this board has run over the past 5.5 months as led us to the cusp of combining these two storied companies." Bitch, where? I can't. And I have a friend named Michelle that said, when you want to work with these companies, you sure do talk about them a lot. It's like, hold on a second. I'm talking about these media companies from the point of view of what is public information. Okay? So, in the words of Roland Marr, if you do good, I'm going to talk about you. If you do bad, I'm going to talk about you. But either way, I'm going to talk about you. And everything that I said at the top of the show about what Netflix and Warner Bros. Discovery could do, they can't do this with Paramount. Paramount doesn't have a fifth core or a half of the arsenal that Netflix has. And plus, Warner Bros. Discovery, do y'all not know people watch Netflix more than Paramount Plus? They are second to YouTube. And you're going down to the bottom of the barrel just to exist. What the fuck? You elevate up. You don't crash down. What the fuck wrong with you? God. Among the parts of the Paramount's new bid that the Warner Bros. Discovery Board said they found more favorable to Netflix's offer were the increased purchase price of $31 a share in cash, increasing the regulatory breakup fee to $7 million in the event the transaction does not close. Due to regulatory matters, Paramount reaffirmed that it will pay the $2.8 billion termination fee, which Warner Bros. Discovery would be required to pay Netflix to terminate the existing Netflix merger agreement. So Hollywood insiders were left reeling about the swift about face in Netflix plan to become even more deeply ingrained in the traditional film and television business. Now, the reality that one of Hollywood's foundational studios, the mighty Warner Bros. And the pioneer brand pay TV HBO, are about to be absorbed by another legacy studio is sinking in. Given the overlap of operations in film and TV production and programming, the industry is bracing for another big round of job cuts. Yeah, they are. Job losses, that is. Cuts, job losses. Either way, shit's gonna happen that's not gonna be good. There are many unknowns about how Warner Bros. Discovery will operate under Paramount's ownership. Paramount's triumph in the bidding process almost certainly means that Warner Bros. Discovery will no longer spin off its linear cable channels to a separate company and what they call Discovery Global. It was Warner Bros. Discovery plan to spin off the cable channels that ignited the auction process around the studio last fall. Warner Brothers' intention to shed its linear channels was the fact that spurred Netflix to get serious about buying Warner Brothers and HBO. Now, Warner Bros. Discovery's significant collection of cablers, including CNN, TNT, TBS, Cartoon Network, Discovery Channel, Animal Planet, Food Network, HGTV, the Oprah Winfrey Network, will be presumably folded into the existing Paramount linear linear channels group headed by George Cheeks, who also oversees CBS. Industry insiders are still shocked that Paramount Skydance was able to turn around what appeared to be embarrassing defeat for CEO David Ellison last fall. The Warner Bros. Discovery Board was forced to begin a sale process that played out in late October and November. The fact that Netflix was considered the process, along with Paramount Comcast, came off as something of a surprise, given that the streamer has followed a non-traditional path to building a world-leading pay TV outfit with unprecedented global reach. Netflix was able to secure its agreement with Warner Bros. Discovery by December 5th. That deal, which did not include the cable channels, was valued at $27.75 deal a share, or $82.7 billion. Paramount's all cash $30 a share offer for the entirety of the company was rejected by the Warner Bros. Discovery Board without substantial back and forth. But when Paramount upped the ante to $31 a share, or $111 billion in total, Warner Brothers Discovery had no choice but to engage. No, you didn't have to engage. You could have said, fuck no, move on, we're with Netflix. What happened to honoring commitment? Like if you can't find a good person, and by the way, there's not bad men, there's not bad women, it is individuals and the moves that they make as people. Okay, we gotta quit that shit because we need each other. But if people can't honor commitment in a relationship, whether you're famous or not, what about Hollywood? Because it seems like your word is your bond is null and void these days, just from this. My Lord Jesus. The first formal negotiations between Paramount leaders and Warner Bros. And the Warner Bros. Discovery Board came last week during the 7-day period that ended the night of February 23rd. The Netflix Warner Bros. Discovery deal was always going to face corrupt scrutiny from federal regulators and the Justice Department, given Netflix presence and stature in the subscription streaming marketplace and Warner Bros. Discovery's own size. And scope of the situation became entangled with the bare knuckles and openly partisan politics that dominates all discourse in Washington, D.C. in the voice of David Ellison, who's the son of billionaire, tech billionaire Larry Ellison, who is using his personal fortune to guarantee most of financing behind all the cash transaction. Larry Ellison has been a vocal supporter of 47. His son was not shy at all about touting that connection as key advantage for Paramount in the regulatory review process. This is the thing, right? We all know how the president works. You think that's an advantage, but what you don't recognize is the president's going to want to reduce everything that you just bought for his benefit. So he's not going to give a fuck about the majesty, the prestige, and the weight of Warner Bros. He's going to care about what he can get out of it. David Ellison also traveled to Europe to lobby against Netflix, Warner Brothers Discovery with key regulators in the United Kingdom and European Union who have had to sign off on the deal given Netflix's market share of their territories. In past media mega mergers, companies were able to agree to concessions or divert certain assets that might have stood in the way of winning approval for Netflix's case. Its international reach is a part of the DNA of its platform, meaning there will likely be no simple divestiture solutions. The fact that Sorrento's met with the 47 administration officials hours before Netflix bowed out of the chase for Warner Bros. Discovery spurred immediate speculation that the co-CEO was warned of a hellacious regulatory bow. Already, the Justice Department had initiated the toughest form of antitrust review, probing whether the combination would give Netflix a monopoly over the market for streaming services as well as the film and TV production activity. I mean, it's not really a monopoly because you still have Disney Plus, even though they're folding Hulu into Disney Plus, which is a dumbass decision. It ruins the Disney bundle because Disney Plus is not Netflix. Disney Plus is supposed to be for families and kid content. Hulu is their adult platform, and then ESPN is the sports platform. If they would have saved the ABC app, they would have had a way for free advertising streaming television. Unless Disney buys Roku. We did a live called Disco. You can look that up after this live, okay? Like I said, a lot happens early over here if you pay attention, okay? Sorrento's and others scoffed at the notion that it would be anywhere close to monopoly, even with Netflix and HBO Max brought under the same roof. But the harsh reality of the cutthroat and deeply partisan landscape in D.C., as evidenced by 47's recent outbursts related to the deal, may have simply proved too daunting for Netflix, and the threat of the zealous Justice Department officials ready to probe all aspects of the business in a process that could take very well, probably years. Over a year. The specter of the Ellisons currently in favor with the administration to win support. Warner Bros. Discovery drew a sharp rebuke from Senator Elizabeth Warren, Democrat Massachusetts. Warren is generally opposed to big business mergers given the potential harm consumers, but in this case, Warren called out the politics around the key players. Exactly right. A Paramount Skydance Warner Bros. Merger is an antitrust disaster, threatening higher prices and fewer choices for American families. What did 47 officials tell the Netflix CEO today at the White House? A handful of 47 aligned billionaires are trying to seize control of what you watch and charge whatever price they want. With the cloud of corruption moving over 47's Department of Justice, it'll be up to the American people to speak up and state attorney generals to enforce the law, Warren said. What do I think about this, y'all? You know, I have to say, it is quite ridiculous to me that this is even happening. All I gotta say is, if you have to buy another company in order to boost your portfolio and no one's watching your portfolio content, you're shit. Because let me tell you something. Nobody really watches Paramount Plus like that. Now, they have Survivor. They have Big Brother, they have The Amazing Race, they have Beyond the Gates. They got some hits, but it ain't Netflix. I mean, I'll even give, Discovery Plus this credit, even though they're still making a dumbass decision to fold Hulu into that. I tell you, these mergers and acquisitions, man, they are basically cutting down the opportunities for diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging for new content to rise. They're cutting off the diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging for new people to get in the door. They're also cutting off the diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging of how they can expand the tent. Child, if y'all see that Oprah Winfrey Network is up for sale, don't come crying to me about it. Don't say shit about it. I don't want to hear it because I told y'all with that video, that emergency town hall, with the two sharks having one having OWN in its mouth and the other one having BET in its mouth. I told y'all this could happen. I told y'all. I legitimately told all y'all asses. Oh no. No. Apparently, interviews with other people are more important. Apparently, being one-trick pony and focusing on just reality TV is more important. And apparently, just accepting anything is better than not accepting bullshit, is the vibe. My Lord. One more article and then we're going to move on. I'm going to show y'all some other articles. So here is this here. Warner Bros. Discovery declares new Paramount bid a superior proposal. Netflix had 4 business days to match. They did not. I want to read this article too. I almost forgot about this article. And then actually before that, I want to show y'all this here. So that's the statement I already read about David Zasloff wishing Netflix well. Can't wait to start working with Paramount. But remember that breakup fee I told y'all about, that $8.5 billion breakup fee. Here is this here. Netflix walks with a cool $2.8 billion breakup fee. Who gets what in new Paramount Warner Bros. Discovery merger proposal? So Netflix will leave the scene with a $2.8 billion termination fee paid by Paramount. Paramount will acquire all Warner Bros. Discovery for $31 a share in cash. Its previous offer was $31 a share in cash, which reflected a total equity of $78 billion and a right here, and an enterprise of $108 billion, including the assumption of net debt and not controlling interest. The new valuations will be higher, but it's not clear exactly where they'll fall until the deal is signed and sealed. A daily ticking fee of 0.25 cents per quarter payable to Warner Bros. Discovery shareholders will accrue after September 30th, 2026, with the consummation of Paramount's transaction. Paramount's previous proposal, which was from February 10th, also saw the ticking fee starting to accrue later after December 31st, 2026. It said then that the fee comes to about $650 million for each quarter. The transaction had not been closed beyond that date. Paramount agreed to a regulatory termination fee of $7 billion payable to Warner Bros. Discovery in the event the transaction does not close due to regulatory issues. That's up from the $5.8 billion in its previous offer, which was already one of the largest breakup fees in corporate history. Paramount will eliminate Warner Bros. Discovery's potential $1.5 billion financing costs associated with its debt exchange offer. want y'all to look at this. Warner Bros. Discovery ended 2025 with $33.5 billion of debt, according to its latest quarterly financials release this morning. It looks like the Paramount deal will pile another $57.7 billion in debt on the combined company in what would be the biggest leverage buyout in history. That's over $90 billion in debt. $90 billion in debt. Y'all not gonna be able to do shit as a company. Don't. You might as well just say all the networks are done. You might as well say that Paramount's done. You might as well say that Warner Bros. Discovery's done as a company. $90 billion of debt. Y'all really gonna be throwing shit to the wall to see if it sticks or not. My God. All right, y'all, last article, and then we're going to roll on to Megan Thee Stallion because we spent basically an hour on this. But this is a very important day in the world of media because how this deal is being talked about, believe me, we're not just the only ones talking about it. Megan Thee Stallion is talking about it with her team. Chris Harrison is talking about it with his team, although he's going to be at Fox Nation. Rihanna is talking about this with Rihanna's talking about this with her team, rather. Jonathan Major's talking about this with his team. All the celebrities are looking at this deal because at the beginning and end of the day, the doors that are in Hollywood are important to how these celebrities live, move, and be in terms of how they can connect with us, right? So last article, and then we'll move on to Megan Thee Stallion here. From Variety.com, as Paramount Skydance grabs Warner Brothers and Netflix bows out, the mood inside all three: champagne toast versus gut punch. The surprise news Thursday that Netflix was ending its pursuit of Warner Bros. Caught nearly everyone in Hollywood off guard, including staffers inside Warner Brothers, Paramount, and Netflix. The reaction, of course, very dependent on which side of the Hollywood hill you sat at, what division you're a part of, and even your political persuasion. It's obviously upsetting to employees, said one executive inside Warner Bros., who described the news as a gut punch, I believe. Employees of the studio said they were holding out hope that Netflix would come up with a new bid to outmaneuver Paramount Skydance's superior proposal, and they thought they have at least 4 days to keep their fingers crossed. But then came Thursday afternoon swift announcement that the streamer had bowed out. Several miles away from Burbank on Melrose Avenue, the champagne was literally being popped open as executives there celebrating their return of fortune, also breathing a sigh of relief as the long campaign to nab Warner Brothers had won a decisive bow. There was tears of exhaustion and happiness, says one executive, who said it had been hard to focus on the business at hand inside Paramount Skydance when there was so much work to be done trying to win the Derby for Warner Brothers. At Netflix, when the streamer announced shortly before 3 p.m. Pacific time that it was given up on its Warner Brothers bid, there was a lot of instant rumble in the halls of Netflix's Hollywood offices. There were audible sounds of whoa and other surprise noises that emanating from offices and cubicles. Question number one inside Warner Bros. Is now what becomes the company, its staff, its culture, and its storied Burbank lot. The fate of many jobs on the studio production side is a big question mark in both film and TV. There's a general sense that 1 + 1 will still equal 1, as a combined Paramount Warner Bros. Will need to shed some of its production infrastructure, particularly in TV, where the company will now own Warner Bros. TV Group. which includes Warner Brothers TV, Warner Brothers Unscripted Alternative TV, or Warner Horizon, Warner's Animation and Cartoon Network Studios, CBS Studios, and Paramount Television Studios, which also includes Telepictures, the Jennifer Hudson Show, Extra, and all the other programming shows, including Judge Mathis. Think about the bloodletting of thousands of employees at CBS and Paramount, and now it will be more just awful. It says an insider. It's going to be a shakeup for the whole community without the losses of jobs and content places to sell, places to buy. Another Warner Bros. Executive weary of what the company has been through over the past decade, including 4 owners between Time Warner, AT&T, Warner Bros. Discovery, and now Paramount Skydance. Just decided another day, another merger. I just make shows that's all I do, head down, make sure, she said. At Paramount Skydance, there was some relief because departments had been at a bit of a standstill while waiting to see how the challenge for Warner Bros. Played out. In particular, some lean departments inside Paramount Skydance have been holding off on staffing up, especially because they want to wait and see if they'll be merged with Warner Bros., which would create redundancies after last year's massive layoffs. Several of divisions inside Paramount Skydance, such as the cable outlets and the last vestiges of Showtime, have been cut to the bone. That might give some Warner Bros. Staffers hope that depending on the division, there will be room for them in the combined company, but then there are so many more questions than answers. Will HBO Max and Paramount continue as separate entities or eventually merge? Will Paramount Skydance will sell the Warner Brothers lot in Burbank, and what happens seen, and particularly given 47's rise to beat his critics? Look at what they've done to CBS, said a Warner Brothers Discovery insider. As for whether the Paramount Warner Brothers merger will create a culture clash between the two historic companies, one our insider point out that the studio didn't really have much of a cohesive culture anymore, given its recent mergers with CBS and Skydance, then coupled with all its layoffs. Contrasts with Warner Bros., where staffers will boast the solidarity that the company has managed to maintain despite a decade of management shifts. There's less angst inside Netflix, as one insider said. Sentiments among staffers about losing the Warner Brothers Discovery deal seem to range wildly from relief to disappointment without any prompting around from leadership. There was much discussion in the hallways that Netflix made the right call to exert financial discipline and not get caught up in the hunt. That said, some did express frustration or missing out on content development opportunities. Like I told y'all, listen, I know if it ain't the biggest person with the most number of subscribers and total views and sanitary, you don't listen to them. But I gotta tell you, sometimes it's those people that are holding it steady, holding it down, and they stand all the way on business, not just being selective for what they want to stand on. That usually is given the tea. Okay, let's keep going. That said, some did express at missing out on content development opportunities from the Warner Brothers vault. There have been excitement about bringing Warner Brothers Discovery's considerable capabilities to produce shows and movies into the company that still does not have a large studio arm. Calling the deal off also squashes a host of questions Netflix insiders had about how HBO and Netflix would realistically coexist in the same company. Another staffer said, I guess it doesn't matter anymore who Casey Blows will or will not report to. And like I said, Netflix studios could have been producing content for HBO. HBO could have been producing content for Netflix. So HBO into Netflix, HBO to Netflix, Netflix into HBO. So it would have been a tennis match of them producing content for each other, and then everybody eat up, and everybody wins, everybody's making money. But oh no, Warner Bros. Discovery wants to go fucking broke. Because now the combined company of Paramount, Skydance, and Warner Bros. Discovery has now $90 billion worth of debt. That's what a smart CEO does. Put the company deeper in the hole. That's what a smart one does. God. I guess it won't matter anymore who Casey Blows will not report to the staff clip referring to the industry chair about the HBO chief. Outside of Warner Brothers, Netflix, Paramount, Skydance, there was plenty of cynicism in a town already scarce from a decrease in population, tremendous job losses. The new company will be saddled with $78 billion in debts at one observer. Put that into context, in 4 years, Warner Brothers Discovery took out more than $50 billion in debt and was only able to reduce it to $30 million. So this has doubled that debt load, and all you're doing is adding Paramount to it. Elsewhere, the reaction was also one of concern. California Attorney General Rob Bonita wrote that the Paramount Warner Brothers is not a done deal. These two Hollywood ties have not cleared any regulatory scrutiny from the California Department of Justice. Has an open investigation. We intend to be vigorous in our review. Watchdog groups also shared their alarm, focusing on Paramount Skydance's impending control of both CBS News and CNN. The Ellisons have already promised the 40th administration that they'll be making sweeping changes to CNN, give it the chance. And we know what that means: firing journalists, spiking important stories, and replace the news with empty propaganda. Said Free Press, Free Press co-CEO Craig Aaron. This deal endangers our democracy by giving a family of peons billionaires even more control of swaths of our news coverage, TV stations, and movie studios, allowing more mergers in the already highly concentrated movie business will harm filmmakers and industry workers when Paramount delivers its promise to make deep cuts to please its Wall Street backers. While few Hollywood executives and sovereign wealth fund managers in the Middle East might get rich from this deal, thousands of American workers will lose their jobs. Said Freedom of the Press Foundation Chief of Advocacy, Seth Stern, Ellison will rarely throw the First Amendment. CNN reports HBO filmmakers under the bus if they stand in the way of expanding his corporate empire and fattening his pockets. But censorship is bad for business. So that is everything you need to know about Warner Bros. Discovery this morning. Now, let's get to some good news, because Megan Thee Stallion is coming to Broadway. Let's roll it.
Where are the girls that like to have fun? Where are the girls that like to have fun? Where are the girls that like to have fun? Where are the girls that like to have fun? Where are the girls that like to have fun? I'm a fun girl, very fun girl, see a shot, take a shot, never run girl. I'm a fun girl, very fun girl, see a shot, take a shot, never run girl. H-I-C-A-S, 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 H-I-C-A-S. I'm a fun girl, very fun girl, see a shot, take a shot, never run girl. I'm a fun girl, very fun girl, see a shot, take a shot, never run girl. C-H-I-C-A-S, 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 C-H-I-C-A-S.
That Chica's Divertas Tequila with the outfit sounds like what Megan Thee Stallion will be in Moulin Rouge, the musical. Let's talk about it. Shout out to Playbill, by the way. Playbill they've been around since the 1800s, reviewing shows, elevating stars, and just being a good brand. So shout out to Playbill, but let's get into it. Here we go. Megan Thee Stallion will be making Broadway debut in Moulin Rouge, the musical. The Tony-winning
doing his thing.
The Tony-winning musical recently announced that it will play its final performance at the Herschel in July. Even your best party planner could catch this vibe. Award-winning rapper, songwriter, and actor Megan Thee Stallion will make her Broadway debut next month in the Tony-winning Moulin Rouge, the musical. The artist will step into the tradition traditionally male role of Zidler, former Harold Zidler, the part created by Tony Award winner Danny Burston, March 24th through May 17th at the R. Hartford Theater. She will make history as the first female identifying performer to play the role, not only in the Broadway production, but in any Moulin Rouge production worldwide. In a statement, Megan Thee Stallion said, "Stepping onto the Broadway stage and joining Moulin Rouge, the musical team, is an absolute honor. I always believed in pushing myself creatively in theater. Is definitely a new opportunity that I'm excited to embrace. Broadway demands a different level of discipline, preparation, and storytelling. But I'm up for the challenge. I can't wait to see the hotties. I can't wait for the hotties to see this. I can't wait for the hotties to see a new side of me." Megan Thee Stallion into the Moulin Rouge musical community is a thrilling moment for us at producer Carmen Pavlik. Megan is a true global superstar. She is one of the most influential artists of her generation, and her impact on music and culture is undeniable. This historic casting is a major part of our closest celebrations. Our farewell gift to Broadway artists is one of our biggest announcements in Moulin Rouge musical. We want our show to go out with a spectacular bang, and Megan is a force of nature to lead us there. And yes, there will be a hint of music from her own iconic catalog. She's gonna have music for oh my god, this is gonna be all fire! Yeah. Oh my god, this is gonna be amazing. It's an unmissable moment for both Megan's fans and ours. Megan Thee Stallion is a 3-time Grammy-winning recording artist who has enjoyed 3 Billboard Hot 100 hits, including Kiss, which shout out to Megan's Law, by the way, Savagery mixed with Beyonce and Wapu Carby. The multi-hyphenate has also acted in Dix the Musical, the 2024 Mean Girls film, stars hit TV show P Valley, and She-Hulk Attorney at Law. She also hosted the MTV Video Music Awards, Saturday Night Live, and co-hosted The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Bob the Drag Queen will end his limited engagement as Harold Zidler March 22nd, everybody. The current Broadway cast also includes Christian Douglas as Christian, Meg Donnelly as Satinine, Andre Ward as Tullis Tarchik, David Harris as the Duke of Monmouth, Ricky Rojas as Santiago, Samantha Dolmaid as Nina Haley, and Aria Rosario as the Sultan alternate. The musical recently announced that it will end its 7-year run in July. The production is directed by Alex Timbers with a book by John Logan based on the Baus Lufin directed movie of the same name and choreography by Sana Talef. The score features covers of Firework by Katy Perry, Your Song by Elton John, Chandelier by Sia, among many other modern pop songs. The story takes place at Paris's famed Moulin Rouge and follows the tragic love story between performer Satin and composer Christian. The production's music team includes musical supervisor Justin Levin, music producer Matt Stein, and music director Andrew Graham. Orchestrations are by Levine, Stein, Kate Krustic, and Charlie Rosen, with dance arrangements by Levin and Stein. Also on the creative team are senior designer Derek McLean, costume designer Catherine Zerber, line designer Justin Townsend, and sound designer Peter Helsinki, hair designer David Brian Brown, and makeup designer Sarah Chima, with creative services by Lauren and Catherine Martin. Casting is by Jim Carthen, Stephen Copel. Star casting is by Winnie Theatrical. In addition to Best Musical, the production won Tonys for Best Performance and an actor in a leading role in a musical, Aaron Turbett. Best Performance by Actor in a feature role in a musical, Danny Burston. Best Choreographer, Todd. Best Direction of a Musical, Timbers. Best Orchestration, Levin, Christic Rosen, and Stein. Best Scenic Design of a Musical, McLean. Best Costume Design of a Musical, Zuber. Best Line Design of a Musical, Townsend. And Best Sound Design of a Musical, Helsinki. Having performed to over 12 million audience members across 15 productions worldwide, Moulin Rouge is also playing North America on a national tour in London's West End, Germany, Korea, the Netherlands, a world tour, and a in non-replica productions in Scandinavia and Italy. Well, like I said, what do I think about this destination? First of all, congratulations to Megan Thee Stallion. Some more good news, man. That is awesome. Listen, I'm a big believer in, why limit yourself? You know what I mean? I always think about our channel in the early days of YouTube and how I came through a lemonade factory that definitely deserved to be shut the fuck down because it was spoiled lemons. I mean, mildew, mold, just musty lemons, just ugh. And then, of course, going through what I went through and coming out the other side and, recognizing that we could be more than what could be said about us and recognizing that there needs to be an after show for the culture. And to be here now covering stuff like this is quite amazing. So shout out to Megan Thee Stallion, and you blow that motherfucker out. And listen, I hope that Megan Thee Stallion can get a Tony Awards nomination because I believe that Megan Thee Stallion could be an EGOT winner. Absolutely. If Jennifer Hudson could be an EGOT winner, have a daytime talk show that nobody asked for, Megan Thee Stallion could be an EGOT winner. Okay, I said it. Damn it. Hell, that made no damn sense. Let's roll on to Chris Harrison, everybody. Because, my God, why? From Variety.com, ex-Bachelor host Chris Harrison sets new dating series on Fox Nation about traditional marriage. Nearly 5 years after his controversial exit as the host of the Bachelor franchise, Chris Harrison is making his return to reality TV. Fox Nation has greenlit a new dating series for people seeking a traditional marriage with Harrison as host and expected to premiere in 2027. Before Fox Nation's involvement was known, Harrison posted a casting call for the project on Instagram saying the show was looking for single men and women aged 21 and older who want a traditional marriage-minded partnership. Oh my God. Built on commitment and shared values, we are looking for singles who believe in clear roles, long-term commitment, and building a life together, and who are dating with real intention. The official log line for the series reads, several women will embark on a relationship journey designed for individuals seeking lasting commitment, blending romance, real compatibility tests, and emotionally charged eliminations. The series reimagines modern dating through the lens of shared values, authenticity, and the goal of marriage. Hey, maybe Candace Owens could be a cultural consultant. Oh, wait, I forgot she hates black people. Never mind. I so forgot. Maybe Officer Tatum? No, he hates black people too. My bad. I'm sorry. You know what? Maybe Kanye, what? No, he hates black people too. Damn. Nicki Minaj? No, she hates black people too. Damn. So it's just going to be a straight white show. Got it. Okay, great. Fantastic. Awesome. Okay, moving on. Harrison isn't the only Bachelor alum working on the currently untitled series. Other previous Bachelor producers on board include Louis Caris as executive producer, Elaine Gale as consultant producer, Lindsay Lyles as casting director, and Michael Shea as director. Executive producers also include Harrison's wife, Lauren Zima, plus Lionsgate alternative television executives Nicholas Caprio and Tom Huffman. I mean, I feel bad for Lauren Zima. I mean, you went from Roses and Rose, which was that could have Roses and Rose honestly could have went on a live tour, and Roses and Rose could have turned into a relationship podcast and everything else if you would work that with Entertainment Tonight. But child, this is a damn shame to go from ET to this. I'm sorry. I just gotta keep it a buck. Like, I like Lauren Zima, you know what I mean? But this is sad. Harrison hosted The Bachelor off the spinoff in 2002 when the iconic reality dating series premiered in 2021. Left the franchise after making racially sensitive comments while defending former contestant Rachel Connell, who was receiving online backlash over a photo circulating online of her attending an antebellum plantation party as a college student. Variety reported at the time that after Harrison took a temporary hiatus from hosting when the controversy began. His team became outraged with the drag-out process surrounding his return, was unhappy with the network and studio not publicly supporting Harrison. Yeah, they didn't want to support him saying that a plantation antebellum party was okay. Yeah, that's their right to say that shit because they want to serve their audience. The fuck? Okay. Child, y'all can watch on Fox Nation. I'm not. I'm not going to put my mental health through hell just to report to y'all on something. Listen, y'all know about, and like I said, Van Lathan and Rachel Lindsay talked about it, and Van Lathan called it for Fox Nation. I even called it for Fox Nation because I'm like, where's this going to air? But let me see something. Higher Learning YouTube channel, because I want to see if they are talking about it again. So you just talked about Kev on stage. Let's see. Higher Learning Chris Harrison.
Higher Learning Chris Harrison.
Okay, so they talked about it 3 weeks ago, but yeah, they're not. I don't think they're going to really get into it again. I don't think so. If they do, it'll be very interesting. So, ciao. Moving on. Now, Chris Harrison had a podcast called The Most Dramatic Podcast Ever with iHeart, Amia, and with his partner Lauren Zima. Fortunately, that's not around anymore. I believe Amy and TJ still have a podcast. Whatever. But check out this report from TechCrunch.com. Here we go. It says Americans now listen to podcasts more often than talk radio, study shows. Let's get into it. Podcasts have officially overtaken AM/FM talk radio as the more popular medium for spoken word audio in the United States, according to Edison's research share of ear survey. The researchers have tracked these statistics over the last decade, and almost always the percentage of time people spent listening to podcasts increased, while their time with spoken radio broadcast decreased. For the first time this year, podcasts eclipsed spoken word radio with 40% listening time as opposed to 39% for radio. So it's like a 1% difference. I mean, the way I look at podcasts, y'all, is it's specialty radio. That's all it is. So when you hear a true crime podcast, that's true crime radio. When you hear about a tech podcast, it's a tech radio podcast. It's basically tech radio. When you hear about, for example, y'all know the consumer product, the consumer packaged goods industry, the alcoholic beverage industry. When you hear an alcoholic beverage industry podcast, that's just alcoholic beverage radio. That's why I truly think about all these podcasts. And this platform here is not a podcast. This is an actual show. We have an intro, we have an outro, we have a format, we have commercials, right? A podcast to me is where you sit down with two microphones in front of you or a group of microphones and you record it in its specialized content, right? It's curated. Now, could this be an audio podcast? Sure, you can download the audio from this and listen to it, and that could be a podcast, sure. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't believe in, defrauding your audience of what a podcast is, because we also talked about another article from TechCrunch that said podcast really can mean anything now. It's like, okay, then. Just moving on. If anything, it's surprised that it has taken this long for podcasts to overtake radio shows. Remember, this doesn't include listening to music on the radio, but perhaps that speaks more to the durability of good old-fashioned radio than the merits of podcasting. So here is a graph percentage of daily spoken word audio time spent with AM FM radio and podcasts. So as you can see here, 2015 AM radio's at 75%, and it's just on a downward slope. And right now, it's at 40% with radio, which is still a huge audience. But then podcasts here, 10% in 2015, and now at 39%. So it's very interesting how that's happening. But also, too, this is the thing about Ray. I'll never forget this. Steve Harvey said, out of all the platforms that he thinks about ever giving up, radio's the number one thing he will never give up, because it is 4 hours of a platform where he can promote anything he wants to. That's 4 hours a day. That's what? 5 times 4 equals 20 hours a week. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, 5 times 4 equals 20. Yes. So, because 5 times 5 equals 25. There we go. So, 20 hours a week of talking to listeners all across the country. Steve Harvey reaches 7.5 million people. Right? And he's built up a fan base that tunes into him on radio. Now, recently, all the shows have been like pre-recorded, which, child, all of the cast of Steve Harvey Morning Show now, I believe Carla Farrell, when I listened to the show, she still, she had young kids, but I think her kids are grown now too, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, all their kids are grown. So I don't know why they're pre-recording when they should be in the studio live every day. Because let me tell you something, the live version of the Steve Harvey Morning Show was way different than the pre-recorded Steve Harvey Morning Show. Okay, I'm just going to say that right now, but moving on. We checked with Essen to see if these statistics include video podcasts, and they do. But the need to clarify that question points to the undeniable growing prevalence of video podcasts hosted on platforms like Spotify and YouTube, which already mark another key trend in podcasting, perhaps in an industry bellwether. Netflix is inking deals with iHeartMedia and Barstool Sports to bring podcasts to streaming service as a more trendy version of the daytime talk show. It's not a bad investment, according to YouTube. People watch them on TV. YouTube said that viewers watch 700 million hours of podcasts each month. In 2025, on living room devices like TVs, up from 400 million the previous year. But the popularity of video podcasts doesn't seem to be detracting from audio-first podcast listening. Tiffin's Digital U.S. Podcast Report for 2025 showed that 80% of consumers over the age of 18 tune into both audio and video podcasts. 13% only listen to audio, while 7% only watch video. Listener preferences also appear to be very greatly dependent on podcast genre. Podcasts about topics like music, sports, comedy, and news skewing more popular on radio. Genres like science, history, art, fiction, and true crime are often consumed via audio. What did I just tell y'all before we even got to this part? That is specialized radio. Of course, a music podcast, sports podcast, comedy podcast, and news podcast is more popular on radio because you're able to see the graphics and everything else. But with science, history, art, fiction, and true crime, it is more about the information. So the personality that has the right voice can carry that, and it's the theater of the mind. So of course that makes sense. Edison's findings show a similar trend in the role of video podcasting. 85% of weekly U.S. podcast listeners above the age of 13 consume podcasts with any sort of video component, up 7% from 2023. The research also showed that there's an estimate 115 million weekly podcast listeners in the United States. Only 5% of listeners reporting that they watch podcasts but don't listen to them. So this is very interesting because I know everybody's been saying Wendy Williams is going to come on for podcasts. Listen, I think personally, what will probably end up happening, and it was funny because, God works in mysterious ways. I was watching some Howard Stern interviews with Wendy Williams, And, Wendy said, I could get back into radio in a heartbeat. And she said, if anything happens, can I come over? And Howard's like, absolutely, we'll get you a show for $250. Joking, but there have been celebrities that have had shows under Howard Stern. I truly believe that Sirius XM radio will definitely give Wendy Williams a deal for sure, without question, because I do believe that Sirius XM was trying to come out with a video podcast app or product or what have you, where you can go on and watch Sirius XM shows and everything in between, right? Now, I'm gonna just be real with y'all to give you a little backstory on me. When I was at Black Squirrel Radio at Kent State University, I was the first and probably only person to be broadcasting live on Periscope when it was around, and Facebook Live, right? I was streaming it live in studio, everything else, having that interaction with the audience and everything. And then years later, I go back to the university just because I was, just walking through and I miss doing what I do. So I went into Franklin Hall and I saw a guy that I used to work with. And he said, what's funny? You actually started that and now we're teaching it. And it's just like, shout out to the originators. Hey, living like we're renegades, renegades. Shout out to the disruptors, damn it. So, not surprised by this report, but just wanted to give you guys that intel. Speaking of podcasts, hopefully the pop culture podcast and the music podcasters and podcast shows will be excited about this destination right here. Let's go to rollingout.com. Shout out to rollingout.com, celebrating 25 years, on to the next 25 years here. Here we go. Rihanna teases studio session. Fans go wild. Fans speculate new music could be on the horizon after rare behind-the-scenes footage. Let's get into it. Rihanna has once again captured the attention of the internet after years of anticipation, or Rihanna anticipation. Yes, I put Rihanna and anticipation together. Rihanna anticipation. Stop. Don't at me. For her next musical project, fans are buzzing over a recent social media post that offered a glimpse into her day-to-day life. The singer's behind-the-scenes video fueled speculation that new music might finally be in the works. Commercial break. Let's watch it live.
Hold on. Approved.
I'll do the studio and I have to make a Mardi Gras costume for my son after the studio.
Bloody hell.
As long as they ever.
There she is in the studio there.
We in business, cool.
Yes, let's go.
All right.
Let's connect.
Let's connect. We should have coffee sometime. Get to know each other. Yesterday's price is not today's right.
There she is, Mommy Denise. Oh my Lord. So there she is, mom duties there. Oh, look at him! Oh, he's so cute! Oh my God! Oh, that boy's clean! Oh, look at him! Look at him! Look at him! Look at him! Oh my God! Riri! Oh, you did that so beautiful! Oh my God! I never had an outfit like that before. Okay, listen. Rihanna is a fashion designer. Okay, so listen. That kid was the smoothest one at the Mardi Gras party. You can't tell me shit. Okay. Yes, indeed. Let's keep going, y'all. I'm so excited this Friday. Here we go. A glimpse inside Rihanna's day. A day in the life video shared on Instagram. Rihanna gave fans a peek into her busy schedule. The video opened with her attending a meeting for her fashion brand, followed by moments of signing albums. Later, she was shown heading into a studio for a late night session, suggesting that her next project could be closer to release than fans expected. The clips revealed her fully engaged in the creative process, making notes and enjoying the music on to the early morning hours. By the end of the session, 5 a.m., it was clear Rihanna had dedicated herself completely to her craft. Balancing motherhood and creativity. The video also showcased Rihanna's life as a mother. She demonstrated her creative side by designing Mardi Gras outfit for her youngest son, Reza. The ensemble highlight her fashion expertise and attention to detail, showing that she continues to blend her artistic vision with family life. Fans were excited to see the softer, personal side of a superstar, reinforcing her reputation as someone who balances professional ambition with personal commitments. Online reactions and speculation. The video ignited widespread conversation online. Fans praised dedication to music and her ability to stay hands-on in multiple areas, while others debate whether the studio session was for music or another project. Because we do know that, Rihanna does do jingles and, songs for the projects and other things. So it could be for a fashion brand, it could be for a bigger project. We don't know. Okay. Many expressed the excitement of the possibility of hearing new tracks, interpreting the late night recording session as a sign that Rihanna is ready to make her return to music. Observers noted that seeing her fully immersed in her studio work brought a sense of intimacy and connection, sparking excitement across social media platforms. Hints about her next era. Rihanna has spoken in previous interviews about the importance of making her next project meaningful. She's been deliberate in taking time away from music, emphasizing that she will only release work that she fully supports. The singer has indicated that her upcoming material will reflect her growth as an artist, diverging from mainstream expectations, will remain authentic to her creative vision. Fans are eager to see how her next release will balance innovation and her signature sound. Anticipation building for the highly anticipated R9. Anticipation builds for new music. As social media continues to buzz over the video, it's evident that fans are already ready for Rihanna's return. The combination of studio footage and glimpses of her personal life has reminded audiences that her multifaceted talents and global influence, from fashion to music to motherhood, Rihanna maintains a remarkable presence. Any hint of new material, is met with excitement and speculation. For now, the video offers a rare look at the artist's process and her life behind the scenes. While details of her next album remains under wraps, fans are optimistic that her creative energy and commitment to her craft will result in music that lives up to the years of anticipation. Every post, every clip, every studio appearance becomes a moment to dissect, discuss, and celebrate, leaving the world eager for the next chapter in Rihanna's story career. I'm excited. Listen, I am a Rihanna fan. I love her evolution. I love how she says, y'all need to calm down. I'm doing what I want to do for me, not for y'all. But also, too, to go from Barbados to where she is now, I mean, she's a legend, whether she ever gets recognized for it or not. So I am very, very excited. So stay tuned. If there's anything else developing, I will let you know. Now, I will just say this. There will not be any Rihanna music with this destination that we're about to talk about. Also, throwingout.com. Give me a moment. Shout out to rollout.com one more time, once again. Celebrating 25 years on to the next 25 years. Here we go, everybody. God, I can't. Jonathan Majors makes his comeback, is raising eyebrows. The actor is back in front of the camera for the first time in 4 years, shooting an untitled action film in South Carolina for Ben Shapiro's The Daily Wire. Jonathan Majors is MAGA now. So wait, is Nicki Minaj providing music for the movie? Oh wait a minute. I'm sorry. It's Nicki Minaj and Kanye West. Oh my God. Oh my God. Listen, I know Miss Banshee Gnosis is looking forward to Kanye West's check because Miss Banshee Gnosis doesn't have a purpose, something to live for, or is valuable to society, let alone her fucking damn self. So I know she excited for Kanye West to get a check. Oh, but I forgot. Kanye West doesn't know that she exists because he doesn't give a fuck about her, like he doesn't give a fuck about himself, and the world doesn't give a fuck about either of them. So let's continue. Oh my God, this right here is just too damn funny. It's too damn funny. It's too damn funny. Let's get into it. Now, for those of you who don't know, I believe that he was in a film called Magazine Dreams. I believe it was about being a boxer, if I'm not mistaken. But also, too, there was going to be a movie. Now, I don't know if it was that movie, but it was going to be some movie released through Zeus. Yeah, that's Zeus Network, the one where Natalie Nunn bowed her head and said, "Pray to the bad gods," and slapped that bitch. Let's just hope Natalie's daughter never gets into that situation where somebody says, "Let's pray to some guy," and slap that bitch, and Natalie Nunn's daughter gets slapped the fuck out. Not wishing that on her daughter, but karma comes around. Okay? All right, moving on. Jonathan Majors is back on a film set. The actor, whose career came to an abrupt halt following a highly publicized criminal case in 2023, is currently shooting his first movie in 4 years on location in South Carolina. The project is an untitled action film being produced by Ben Shapiro's The Daily Wire, with Kyle Rankin, the director of Run, Hide, Fight, at the helm from his own original screenplay. Ben Shapiro hired a black person? Oh my God! Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. The news confirms what many in the industry have been waiting to see, not just whether Majors will find his way back to acting, but which door he would walk to get there, or walk through to get there. What is known about the film, details about the project remain limited, but the story is said to draw inspiration from the action films of the 1980s and 1990s, specifically Red Dawn and Toy Soldiers. Both of those films centered on groups of young people, particularly teenage boys, banding together to fight off invading forces. Ben Shapiro's going to do a story about uplifting black culture. Said no one ever. Whether that premise will translate into something that generates mainstream attention remains to be seen. The project gives Majors a vehicle to remind audiences what he is capable of on screen. The Daily Wire's pattern of hiring controversial figures. You don't say. You don't say. You don't say. The Daily Wire has made a recognizable habit of offering film roles to actors who face public backlash or career-ending controversies elsewhere in Hollywood. The conservative media company has previously brought in Artie Hammer, Gina Carrero, which Gina Carrero is going to be in a fight, I believe, with Ronda Rousey on Netflix. So she has made a comeback. Vince Gallo and Roseanne Barr for leading roles in its productions. Its most commercially successful theatrical release to date remains Mel Walsh's mockumentary "Am I Racist?", a satire of diversity, equity, inclusion initiatives that earned $12 million domestically. The Majors casting fits neatly into that established pattern. How Majors' career unraveled. Majors was one of Hollywood's most talked about rising talents heading into 2023. He was widely expected to reprise his role as Kang the Conqueror in the next Avengers film and had built a reputation as one of the more compelling screen presences of his generation. That trajectory changed dramatically in December 2023 when he was convicted of reckless assault and harassment following altercation with his then girlfriend in March of that year. The case drew months of intense media coverage. We covered it every day here on the channel, and reshaped his standing in the industry almost overnight. In April of 2024, he was sentenced to a 52-week in-person DV. intervention program, Marvel moved on without him removing Majors from the Avengers project. In February 2024, his most recent screen credits prior to this new film are the 2022 Disney Plus series Loki, in which he played Kang the Conqueror, Magazine Dreams, which premiered at Sundance in January 2023. What comes next for Majors? Before Land of the Day Wire project, Majors have been attached to star in Marin Vinci's Merciless, but that film appears to have stalled in development. The Daily Wire production now represents its most concrete path back to screens through Hollywood's major studio, though Hollywood's major studios have yet to come calling. There's one notable thread of hope on that front. Michael B. Jordan has hinted Majors could possibly return for the next installment of the Creed franchise, a role that will carry significant mainstream visibility given the series' track record. But whether that actually comes to pass remains unclear. That suggests that at least some doors in Hollywood have not been permanently closed. For now, the Daily Wire film marks the official start of a comeback that the industry will be watching closely. Ciao. What do I think about this? I mean, this is as bad as what Warner Bros. Discovery did last night. This is just as bad, if not worse. Because I'm like, bro, there is no Daily Wire film that ever will get like an Oscar. Like, I'm sorry, no. Like, do you see anybody from mainstream Hollywood working with the Daily Wire? No, because they know who it is. And child, I would not be surprised if the president is like, okay, look, listen. We have Warner Brothers now. It's gonna be great. Jonathan Majors, I love the guy. He's great. Listen, we're gonna do an overall deal for 3 pictures with Warner Brothers and Paramount, Skydance, and listen, Daily Wire will make you a studio within Warner Brothers and Paramount Discovery. Listen, it's gonna be great. If you don't believe that cannot happen, you must be out your ever-loving mind. Okay, listen. I'll keep you posted, but child, that film is not going to be successful. Believe me. Speaking of somebody who's not going to be successful, Young Miami, the one who said she could be the next female Oprah. I'm so sorry. Listen. I know everybody got dreams, but sometimes we got to be realistic that some dreams cannot come true. So this next destination, wait till y'all hear this shit. Moving on. Okay. It's to YouTube. That was that production company that promoted that on Complex. Okay. I'm just reading what's on the site. Okay. Young Miami says she wants a God-fearing man with at least $100 million. So you want to go from somebody that has been trying to get out of their sentence for what they've been convicted for with freak-offs and giving women STDs and everything in between and abusing them to a God-fearing man with $100 million? I know you're out your ever-loving fucking mind. Let's keep going. Ooh, Lordy, I just cannot. The rapper revealed what she looks for in a suitable partner. It says rapper and media personality, but she's not media personality, y'all. She's just another black woman in the world that exists. Child, let's roll on. I'm more of a media personality than her. Let's roll on. Young Miami broke down what she wants in a man. That includes a multi-million-dollar net worth. The rapper and media personality joined Uproxx's Jeremy Hetch for the Soundcheck web series this week and detailed her dating needs around the 3 minute mark of the video below. City Girls member who has 2 children, Count Sade Combs and producer Southside among her former romantic partners. Young Miami explained that she's just living, having fun, her current dating life before declaring that her man needs to have a coin. I need someone that's, God-fearing, that's religious, that believes in God, she continued. The Tea Time artist also expressed that her partnership make at least $100 million. Child. When Hetch joked that Miami CMs will have only 10 contenders, she shrugged. That's good to narrow them down. God, thank you, she said. Although Young Miami and D part ways in 2023 after dating for 2 years, she wrote a letter of support for the music executive before he was sentenced to 4 years in prison. Last September, the Bad Boy Records founder was found guilty on 2 counts of violating the Mann Act. For 3 of those years, I was in a public relationship with Sean. During that time, I witnessed and came to know a different person than the one often portrayed. Miami wrote to trial judge are assuming behind the scenes he was loving, genuine. Supportive and always encouraging. He motivated me, believed in me, and helped me grow both personally and professionally. So let's watch this clip of Young Miami saying this, because I need to hear it. I have not seen this clip, so we're all going to see it together live. Okay, here we go.
I gotta pick one.
Just one. I know you love.
I can't say both.
I'm Jeremy Hecht here with Brox. This is the sound check where
You know, see when you see the 2 fingers such shit. I'm just just living.
Okay, just living life.
Yeah.
Experiences.
Oh shit.
We buy any car. Make some. Selling your car fast, safe, and fair.
I gotta pick one.
Just one. I know you love.
I can't say both. Thank you. A provider. I need someone that's God fearing, that's religion, that believe in God. Someone that leads. Any man that leads.
Okay. What is the minimum net worth that he has to have?
I want like a man that at least got like $100 million.
Okay, yeah, at least. Okay, we just crossed off a lot of people off that list. There's a lot of contenders that just walked the other way. Your DMs will now be flooded with 10 people, I think.
That's good.
That's good.
Narrow them down, God. Thank you.
Standards. Let's just say, you did find that person with the $100 million and all the other qualities.
Okay.
And you're in the bedroom. Which of these 2 songs are you setting the mood with?
Play me a good one.
Talking crazy.
Okay. So y'all heard out her mouth, child. Let her be in her delusions of grandeur. Okay, like I said, you won't go from Diddy to somebody that you want to be God-fearing and have $100 million net worth. You are out your ever-loving mind. Shout out to Jeremy, the host of Soundcheck. Brother, I listen, I would have just been real for like, all right, do you not know who you used to date? You think somebody gonna date you after who you used to date? You must be out your ever-loving fucking mind. Let's roll on, because, child, maybe this woman here who created this service may need to create a service to whoop for women to come through to whoop other women's asses for being this damn stupid. Just listen, okay? Now, listen. Don't at me. Don't at me. Let's talk about this from blacknews.com. Here we go. Okay, y'all, from blacknews.com. Here we go. From blacknews.com, Black woman entrepreneur launches server launches service rather to beat up men who abuse women. Now, when I first saw this morning as I was gathering the destinations to come on tour with y'all, I'm just like, oh, I gotta do this at the end because this right here is a starter. Okay, listen, this is lordy. So if you got any women in your life that you care about, you just like, listen, I care about you and you don't want me to pull up, but I'm gonna have somebody pull up. This is that service for everybody that got somebody that they care about. Let's get into it. My Lord Jesus, here we go. Aya Crystal, a content creator and entrepreneur from Uganda, runs a vigilante-style business that targets men accused of abusing women. She says her mission is to protect survivors and send a message that violence against women has consequences. Crystal, who calls herself a modern-day superhero for women, shared her story on Tuppets. I think that's how you say it, Tuppets podcast. I recently started a business where I beat men who beat pregnant women, underage girls, or rape victims, she said, according to Face to Face Africa. I will start working with the police. My goal is to beat up at least 100 men before 2027. Now, I'm going to just be real with y'all. I don't know how it works in Uganda. I really don't. But when I first saw this, I'm just like, on one hand, I'm like, good for this, because it's about time that some men get their ass whooped, okay? And also women DV as well. They do DV violence to men as well. So there might need to be a service for women to go beat up women who do that to men and children and everything else. But also, too, I'm just like, how is the police going to work with her? Like, to keep it a buck. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. This is an interesting one. Her business gained traction online with Crystal leveraging TikTok and other social media platforms to reach clients. Women hire her and her team deliver what she called hard lessons. Not hard lessons, child. Oh my God. Woo, what she calls hard lessons to abusive or cheating men. Crystal emphasized that it's a team effort that her group works together to carry out these missions safely. Child, I wonder if Wendy Williams would have heard this. You know what? I'm just going to. Hey, Crystal, Kelvin Hunter, Kelvin Hunter. Like, just, I wonder if Kim K would have used this. Like, for real, I just wonder how many women would have actually used this service. I'm sure it would have been a lot of them. Let's see here. The community response has been mostly supportive. Many praise her work as filling the gaps left by slow or inconsistent justice systems, while some even ask how to invest in her company. Critics argue that her methods may perpetuate violence, but Crystal insists that her approach deters abusers and protects survivors immediately. Beyond individual cases, Crystal highlights the broader pattern of intimate partner violence, or PV, in Africa, particularly against Black women. Studies show nearly half of African women experience IPV, with East and Middle Africa reporting the highest rates. By combining direct action with advocacy, Crystal offers a solution for women who might otherwise face abuse without recourse. Her mission extends beyond punishment. Crystal aims to empower women, send a clear message that abuse won't be tolerated, and build a protective network until the legal system can fully support survivors. So, child, what do I think about this? Man, let me tell you something. When I first saw this, I'm just like, oh my God. You know, the thing that I thought of was, you know, the Raven-Symoné Oprah Winfrey interview where, you know, Raven said, I'm not African American, I'm American. And Oprah said, oh, geez, you just set Twitter on fire. That's exactly what I feel about this, because, like I said, on one hand, I fully support this because it's long overdue that men who have, y'all, there are men who have, you know, burned off women's faces. There are men who have beaten women into the point where their baby was, done. You know what I mean? There's the silent pain and strife and chaos that we never hear, right? That deserves to be heard, respected, and also invested in. So that's the side I'm on. But also, too, it's just like, in the same token, this is in Africa. Now, I don't know if it'll come to the States. And listen, if anybody deserves this service, I would just say the President of the United States. I'm just going to say it. I am. Like, the allegations of him raping E. Jean Carroll was substantially true. A U.S. federal court judge said so. Some of the Republicans in government have done some fucked up shit. Some of the men, right? And there's plenty of men on the low that, as I'm speaking right now, there's somebody being DV'd. There's somebody having partner violence. There's some kid being abused right now. There's some baby being abused right now. And for this woman, Iana Crystal, to make a service where, we'll handle it. I'm here for it. The main thing is just make sure that you do it safely, because, child, the last thing you need, somebody going on TikTok or Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Clubhouse, Kick, Twitch, whatever the hell, and reporting this. But I think it's a great service. I do. You know what I mean? Because it's long overdue. So, child, listen. Woo. Now, here's the article right here from Face to Face Africa. I'm trying to find her website, y'all, but it looks like he's not showing a website. Yeah, I'm not seeing a website. So if you go to her IG bio, I guess she'll tell you more about it there. Hang on, give me a moment, y'all. So this is her Instagram bio right here. This is her Instagram bio. M+Aleti Crystal, travel, lifestyle, healing, and handling disrespect. Okay, so listen. Like I said, I think it's an interesting service. Do I believe it should be a service? Absolutely, I do. I just kind of fear the implications of what could happen. You know what I mean? Because of course you don't want the women who are doing these to also be victimized and, you know, downtrodden and everything in between. So y'all, that's our show. Child. 2 hours, 19 minutes, and 36 seconds. My Lord, what a show, what a show, what a show, what a show, what a show today. Give me a moment as I find positive news story for y'all. Give me a moment. All right, y'all. So here's some, you know, positive news, but some sad news, right? Sometimes positive news means that, hey, you know, maybe there might be something new to come out of it, right? So 50 Cent teases final Power spinoff. I'm done with the Power universe. So let's get into it here. $50 Cent may be closing the chapter on his hit TV empire. The mogul took to Instagram to unveil artwork for what appears to be another installment in the Power franchise, captioning the post rather, new heat with the fire emoji on the way. I think this is going to be the last spinoff. Now I'm done with the Power universe. The image features a cracked, split face visual reminiscent of the gritty aesthetic that has defined the franchise since its debut, signaling yet another high-stakes storyline could be in the works. While 50 didn't reveal a title or premiere date, the teaser alone was enough to get fans talking with immense. Since launching in 2014, Power has grown into a full-blown television dynasty, spawning multiple spinoffs and solidifying 50 Cent as a serious force in Hollywood. From drug kingpins to courtroom drama, the universe has expanded across timelines and cities, all under his executive producer watch. Now the big question is this really the final chapter of 50 Cent just trolling Power fans? I mean, it could be both. Right? It could be both of, hey, y'all, this is it. Not, or, you know, 50 Cent has really talked about how he is done with Stars and Stars holds back content, this, that, and the third. So, yeah. So for those fans that are looking forward to something new from the Power universe, here you go. This is your positive news story, but also, too, this might be the end, too. So with that being said, I'm going to turn off my camera now because we've done the whole show for over 2 hours. Yes, we have. Ooh, what a show, what a show, what a show, what a show, what a show today. My Lord Jesus. 6 people in the building. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every single one. Thank you so much for being here. What a, like I said, what a show this morning. Warner Bros. Discovery, child. My Lord, I sincerely, I don't know what y'all gonna do, but it ain't gonna be too pretty for y'all. I can tell y'all that right damn now. This is just a sad day in the world of media that Warner Brothers is basically their company is done for. And now combine it with Paramount, they have $90 billion worth of debt. You crazy. You are crazy. You are legitimately crazy. I mean, this move makes the Looney Tunes look sane. And they're supposed to be loony. Megan Thee Stallion and Moulin Rouge, the musical. What a awesome time. I cannot wait for that. And of course, it is the final hurrah for Moulin Rouge. So please go see and make it do what it do. And hopefully, Megan Thee Stallion will get a Tony nomination and she'll become the next EGOT winner for sure. Chris Harrison and Fox Nation. Child, ain't nobody gonna be watching that shit. Well, let me not say that because the president might. You know what? I'm gonna just say this on camera because it could happen. The president of the United States might want to host the after show for Chris Harrison's show. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fox Nation's traditional marriage after show. I am your host, the President of the United States. Now, with me and my wife, Melania, we have our issues. Sometimes I wish I was married to Ivanka, and I would date her if she wasn't my daughter, but we're not talking about my life. We're talking about these wonderful people, all white, by the way. We don't like blacks. We don't like minorities. Like, I really feel like he would actually call Fox Nation and actually want to host the after show. He want to host the pre-countdown. He wants to host the countdown pre-show. He want to host the after show. He want to host the fan edition of the after show too, child. Listen. I'm also Braylon. You forgot a couple more. I'm going to be hosting the Women Tell All. Very exciting. All that beautiful, succulent, and delicious variety of women in front of me. Oh my God, I'm so excited. But in addition to that, we'll be hosting the after show finale. Very excited to talk to the new couple of couples. And yes, I will continue to be the president of the United States while I do this job with Fox Nation. Like, I really believe that can happen, child. Listen, it's 2026. Have you not seen what the president's done in his first administration? What he's doing this second go around? Don't put nothing past him, okay? Anyway, child. Sad part is somebody's going to start a YouTube channel to discover that show. I promise you they will. But anyway, then we talked about podcasts and how they're being listened to more than AM, FM, spoken word radio, but it's like by 1 percentage point. Like, podcasts are being listened to 40%, radio's being listened to 39%, so not that big of a difference. Then Rihanna, she could be in the studio making brand new music, or it could be for another project. We don't know. Then Jonathan Majors is working with Ben Shapiro at the Daily Wire. So Jonathan Majors is Megan now. Megan, are you still dating him, child? You don't want to be a Nicki Minaj. You seen what's happened to her, right? Okay, all right. And then Young Miami wants to go from somebody who was found guilty in court for disrespecting women to now wanting a God-fearing man and his net worth being $100 million. You really think a $100 million man is going to date you after who you dated? Said no one ever. And then Auntie Crystal has a service that if you pay her, you let her know the man or the men that abused you, they will go handle it for you. I'm sure many men who got, men who are who have a family as police mindset will be making it do what it do with that. And then, of course, 50 Cent says he is done with the power universe. But of course, he's not done making money moves, business moves, and, king moves. Okay, so with that being said, we're going to play our anthem and take a little bit of a commercial break because, child, this was a show, and we'll be back right after this. We got more Braylon Lee's virtual tour live, rather. We are live on tour. Like, comment, share, subscribe. We'll be back right after this, everybody.
Lights go low, the city goes high. Stories untold under moonlit skies. Braylon Lee got the vibe, got the flow for the culture. Yeah, you already know. Turn it up, lean back, feel the breeze. Late night truths drifting through the trees. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon Lee's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Headlines flip with a soulful twist. Behind the scenes where the magic sits. It's the heartbeat of the now and the then, where the story starts and never ends. Tune and lean and feel the groove. Every moment, a vibe you can't lose. It's for the culture, by the culture. Braylon Lee's got the soul to show ya. Breaking it down, lifting it higher. Feel the rhythm, spark the fire. Hear the is waiting and lower is available. But either way, we gotta go on tour. It's Braylon's virtual tour where the culture makes its move. Feel the love, feel the truth. This is us, this is you. From the unknown, the unembraced, and more. This show, this brand, and the possibilities of what can be is all here for you. I'm just a kid from the rock, trying to be a rock for people, trying to make it best they can to become. Being moved as a creator of power to lift up all of us, not just a selective few. For the culture, by the culture, here we be. Braylon Lee, bringing life to your screen. Feel the soul, feel the truth. We're free, trust and believe. It's entertainment, news done away with. Braylon Lee, spotlight sharp like a diamond shine. We see the stars, but the stories align. Deep in the soul where the heartbeats find. The pulse of the people redefining time. Just a pro tip, people have to earn the right to hear your story, but in addition to that, people have to earn the responsibility to be a part of it. Just because we are not seen by everybody doesn't mean we are not been seen by who needs to see us. Noise equals attention and sound equals purpose. Anybody can be a creator, but it takes a somebody to be an artist.
Introducing the greatest escape in the Caribbean, the island you've been waiting for. Welcome to the Great Life on Great Stirrup Cay. This is the greatest pool you've ever seen life, 28,000 square feet of it, and the epic water park life. It's where you can truly experience the whoa life and the floating through paradise life. It's time to escape to a mind-blowing, sky-high tower of water slides and the Here We Go life. Escape to the one more please wherever you please life and kick it into high gear. Escape to where you can kick back and relax. The great life is waiting. Escape to the incredible new Great Stirrup Cay, only with Norwegian Cruise Line.
Come with me if you want to live a more delicious life.
Oh, maybe we should get in the van.
In this world, we don't get to control much. The past, male pattern baldness.
Leggies.
Got one right now. The urge to pop that bubble wrap. But there is one thing we do get to choose every single day. What we eat. Welcome to the Sonic Department of Research and Deliciousness. We have everything you want, didn't know you wanted, and some things you didn't know were possible. Because we believe if you're not having fun, you're not living free. So come on, let's live a little.
Prepare for a journey beyond imagination, beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
I'm loving it.
Yes, indeed. I'm loving y'all right back. And by the way, here's a bonus one for you. Right there, Jilly from Philly scores major comeback to whom this may concern, debuts top 10 in 7 Billboard charts. Let me say that 2 more times. Jill Scott scores major comeback to whom this may concern, debuts top 10 on 7 Billboard charts. One more time for the one more time. Jill Scott, Jilly from Philly. Jill Lee, Miss Lee, if you're nasty, scores major comeback to whom this may concern, debuts top 10 on 7 Billboard charts, all right? According to Billboard, the album is Scott's first album in more than a decade, making the milestone even more significant after years away from releasing a full-length studio effort. She's re-entered the music scene with impact. Billboard reports that To Whom This May Concern landed in the top 10 on 7 different Billboard charts for the current tracking week. The Grammy-winning singer's latest studio project, To Whom This May Concern, has debuted in the top 10 across 7 Billboard charts, marking a powerful return to the R&B powerhouse. So congratulations. Jill Scott's officially back in the charts, are feeling it. So the one, the only Miss Jill Scott on 7 different charts in the top 10 for her comeback album. But she never went away. She's just evolved, okay? Listen. That smiling face is the way we should end that show. Shout out to Jill Scott. And wait a minute. Really, Jill, you really want to do this on my... Okay, child, fine. Just give me a moment. Jill wants me to play something. Just give me a moment. Are you sure? Because this is our footage here. Okay, fine, child. Just... Jesus Christ, just... I told her that footage is just for me and her, but she said I can play it, child. Congratulations to Jill Scott. Y'all, for real, that is our show. I got one more thing to show you, and then I'm really gone, y'all. So tonight, I'm going to be talking about Epic Universe. Attraction Ideas did a video talking about ride capacity. He's very analytical in his commentary, and so I'm like, I like a challenge. So let's do that challenge. So let me show you that thumbnail real quick. So right here, everybody. So right here, and Linnell still is already there. Love you, my friend. So you see these 5 different parcels there. So you see a 0.2 acres, a 0.3, 2 0.5s, and 0.9. I have a solution for every area on that map. And wait till y'all see it. I think you guys are going to be quite impressed. Not that you're not already impressed with what we do, but I think you guys will enjoy it. Y'all, that is the show. One love, much love, all love. I feel the love and send it right back to you. Enjoy your day. I'll see you back here tonight at 6 o'clock, y'all. We got a lot to discuss and a whole lot to get through. Be here from the top. Love y'all. Peace.
I thought I should tell you they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you. And everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now, they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now, they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner. I thought I should tell you, they've been talking about you. Yeah, they've been talking about you. They've been talking about the fact that they've done everything they could to stop you and everything they could to block you, but you still win. They've been talking about the fact that they have undermined your success and they have tried to sabotage your seasons, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that even though they don't like each other, they get together to try to kill you, but you keep winning. They've been talking about the fact that you were voted least likely to succeed, but like cream, you keep rising to the top. They've been talking about how they tried to burn your world down, but like the phoenix, you rose from the ashes. They've been talking about you. And you know what they say? Oh, she's just lucky. He's just lucky. But no, you ain't lucky. You're anointed. You got something on you. You got favor on you. You got power on you. You were born to win. Now, they can call it luck, but it's grace. They can call it luck, but it's favor. But whatever they call it, it doesn't matter, because you know what God calls you? Do you know what God calls you? A winner.
Here you leave today and enter a world of
A world of princesses.
A world of villains.
And heroes.
Raise your sabers.
A world of other worlds.
A world of all the favorites. A world of throwbacks. A world of
for whatever you love. Infinite worlds await. Prepare for a journey beyond imagination. beyond belief, beyond anything you've experienced before. Universal Epic Universe, a new theme park where you'll step through extraordinary portals to 5 immersive worlds. Prepare for a cosmic voyage of discovery, an isle of fire-breathing excitement, a shadowy world of monsters and mystery, new wonders in the wizarding world, and a new way to play. Plus the splendor of a magnificent resort hotel overlooking the park. It's all new excitement at Universal Orlando Resort. A week's worth of vacation thrills with 4 amazing theme parks, a variety of spectacular themed hotels, and incredible dining and entertainment. It's all at Universal Orlando Resort, where you'll find new adventures every day. Explore the astonishing worlds of Universal Epic Universe at Universal Orlando Resort.
Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content. Because here's the thing, a good streamer can find other content.
I've been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content. I have been moving on my own accord, covering Black culture. There is more to life. I heard that, friend. Braylon, shout out to Braylon. Make sure y'all go follow Braylon in case y'all haven't. I love your content.
Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about, besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about, besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about, besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about, besides lying all the damn time. Child, Braylon been over there doing his thing, minding his GD business, staying out of trouble, trying to get the folks some positive stuff to talk about, besides lying all the damn time.